Every day in retirement, we have to make choices on what it is we're going to do to have fun and make it exciting.
Absolutely. Without the right approach, retirement can easily become monotonous and unfulfilling.
And we don't want this time to waste. So what we're going to do today is give you our top 5 retirement hacks to make sure that you get this stage of your life right so that you can thrive in retirement.
Because we don't want your golden years to be tarnished by inactivity and discontent. So embrace these hacks to thrive.
Now, we hear people all the time, yeah, but I just want to relax, take it easy, and do nothing. Well, there's time for that, but you can't do that for 10, 20, or 30 years. You won't last that long. You'll drive yourself crazy. So there's got to be some things that you do to stimulate some thinking and some activity. Right?
I think it's funny too. Oftentimes we hear people say, I'm happy with my routine. My pop will say that. He'll say, oh, I'm happy with my routine. I'll say, okay, well, what is it? And then he can't articulate the routine.
No, his
because
routine.
there's really no routine to the routine.
No, he just gets
He's
up.
had good days,
Yeah.
and he wishes that was his routine, but he doesn't really make it a routine.
I talk about my dad a lot because he's an inspiration behind this channel in a way that he had a routine, but it wasn't healthy,
Right.
and it wasn't fulfilling, and it wasn't, well, it killed him, frankly. So, he drank too much, he played, he didn't find a way through retirement to reinvent himself.
Right.
So you really have to be careful about that. And, a lot of people say, I'm kind of set in my ways. I don't really want to change habits. It's too hard. Well, retirement will pass you by. And that's what we don't want for you.
Absolutely. If you're new here, I'm Jody, and this is my husband, Mark.
And we don't focus on the financial aspects of retirement, but rather the lifestyle, health, relationships, and more.
So please hit the subscribe button and the notification button so you get notified when our videos come out. And do us a favor, share this with someone you care about who's also on their retirement journey.
So what's a story that we could share real quick about someone who I would say pivoted and is living these retirement hacks, the ones we're going to cover today?
Well, I have a friend who I play golf with who had a retirement vision. She was very well set in her vision with her husband, and they retired at the same time. She sold her company. He retired from another company, a financial planning company. So they were financially set. Mm-hmm. They're from the Midwest, and her husband died.
Oh my.
And
this is the woman you met this winter?
Completely upended her retirement vision because her vision was really for the two of them, which many people's retirement is, right? It's with your partner or your spouse, and then it happens. And, studies show women end up as solo retirees more often than not because women are living longer than men. So she really floundered for a bit, and it was a very emotionally difficult, challenging time. But you know what? I'll tell you, I've given her a lot of credit. We've spent a lot of time together, and she has really clung to this idea of a retirement routine.
I love that.
Because it gave her structure when she was emotionally wounded. It gave her something to hold on to. It gave her something to do, something to look forward to. It gave her purpose while she was still trying to find her feet on the ground. So it was life-saving, actually.
It was a great story. I'm glad you sat down and shared with her what we're doing. I think she watches our channel now.
Yep.
And I think you've given her a couple of the worksheets out of our course.
Right.
And I think that really has helped her make the pivot, because that happens a lot where people lose a spouse, and we've done a lot of videos on solo retirees. We don't know what that's like. Right. Hopefully we never will, but we've interviewed a lot of people that have. So what a great story. By the way, in the link below, there is a relationship toolkit. That's probably one of our biggest hacks, really allowing you to learn how to connect better with your husband and wife, or your close friends, or your kids. So download that toolkit now to check it out. So why don't we jump in and start sharing our 5 hacks.
And stay to the end, where we'll give you a step-by-step guide on implementing these hacks. All right, so let's start with the first one. I feel like we talk about this a lot, but I also feel like you can't talk about it too much. And the first one really is to embrace your physical wellness. Staying active is key to maintaining energy and health in retirement. This may sound super cliche, and you may say, I've heard you guys say this before, but it's very important.
What I would say is make believe you're hearing this for the first time because it's important. It is absolutely, in my mind, the number one critical hack to have a good retirement is embracing physical wellness. And listen, you might be injured, and if you are, I'm sorry, I really am. But even if you're out of shape and you're overweight, you can do certain things to get out of the chair and off the couch. And it can be walking for 5 minutes, one way from the house and 5 minutes back. It's just having this mindset to move. And I know it's hard. And I know, gosh, there's so many people who can help you, but you have to help yourself first. So it really needs to be important.
And really, I just think it's important to say to yourself at the end of each day, did I balance my activity with rest? Am I doing what's right for my body? And just understand it's never too late to start regardless of your fitness level.
Right.
And I think that's really important. So that's number one.
That's our first hack. The second one aligns with that, and I want to make believe you're hearing this for the first time, is cultivating your mental wellness. There's nothing worse than waking up in the morning and the first thing you think about is you're stressed out about all the things you didn't get done yesterday or all the things you have to do today. Or you just open your phone and scroll through the news and you're immediately stressed out. That just isn't healthy.
I also think, just on the other side of that, it's also hard to wake up and say to yourself, I have nothing to do today.
Yeah.
That's a mental beating, honestly. I have nothing to do. I have no purpose. I'm not seeing anyone. I don't have a schedule. I don't have a plan. I don't know what I'm going to eat. I don't have a workout plan. Like when you wake up and you have no plan, some days that's great. Like I'll be the first to say, like some days that's great. But every day it's not great.
We plan for days like that.
Yeah.
We say, you know what? This coming Saturday, no plans. Wake up when we wake up. We're just going to do what we want to do. And that's kind of a fun day.
Right.
But I tell you, if you're used to planning like we are, and your mental wellness is in good shape because we know what we're going to do, we're not letting ourselves go down, watching reels all day long in the phone, we're meditating, we're journaling. It makes a huge difference. When you plan a day where you don't do anything, and you do 3 in a row,
right,
we find ourselves in trouble.
Yeah, you can get in trouble for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely for sure.
Okay.
All right, so the third hack would be to nurture your relationships. Connections with other people provide support and joy. Full stop. Connections with other people provide support and joy. So invest time in existing relationships and build new ones. Join clubs and groups and things that align with your interests. Volunteer. That creates a bond with other people with like-minded passions. And stay in touch with family and friends. Create a plan to stay in touch with family and friends. Nurturing relationships is a critical hack for retirement.
A couple things I do. In my phone, I have my contacts, but I have a group, favorites. And sometimes I just, in the morning, I look and say, who do I need to contact today? All my family's in there, the kids, grandkids don't have phones yet. But sometimes I'll just take my phone and I'll do a 20-second, 30-second, 45-second video, and I'll text it to them. Now, don't forget, I'm up early, so when they wake up, they get it. But just tell them how much they
really early for the California family.
Yeah, but it's just, there's a lot of things you can do to stay in touch and not wait. Don't be reactive. Be proactive with family and friends. Reach out to your friends, have lunch, play golf, whatever it might be, or just even reach out and say to one of your buddies, I'm having a little bit of a tough time today. Can I swing by and have a cup of coffee with you? That will deepen your relationship so much when you start to open up vulnerable in a vulnerable way to your friends. There's a whole chapter in my book on vulnerability. So
you got it.
I think that's really important. The other thing is, and we're doing this, we are deepening on a daily basis the relationship that we have with each other. If you are in a relationship with a spouse or partner or a really good friend, it is so important that we are grounded.
Yeah.
And do we fight? Yeah. Do we disagree sometimes?
Yeah.
Well, I never disagree, but you do sometimes.
I do. I'm pretty disagreeable sometimes.
No, that's not true. No, we do disagree. This isn't a perfect marriage, but we work on it every single day, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, and in that deepening spouse partner, key relationship bucket, we've gotten better at responding versus reacting, which is always a challenge because reacting is kind of, the world. And we've also gotten better at taking a pause.
Yeah.
Taking a time out, sometimes we'll be in an argument and I'll say to Mark, I've taken this conversation as far as I can take it today and I need a break. And I think we've gotten better at that, putting some boundaries around those things. But deepening relationships is definitely a critical hack.
We've got a bunch of videos on this on our channel, so search that. But I also, when you say something like that, I need to be really good and bulletproof at not taking it personally.
Right.
You've just kind of run out of time, run out of space, and I need to give you space.
Yeah.
And it's fine.
Yeah.
It's just realizing she doesn't dislike me anymore. She just needs space.
Right.
She being you.
I was going to say, who's she? Your mother's cat. Anyway, the fifth hack that we have is prioritize your wisdom sharing and serving others. Sharing your knowledge and expertise and your experiences can really enrich your life and the life of others. Whether you mentor someone or coach someone or, just offer your skills into community projects or organizations, engaging in that type of activity, even if it's intergenerational, right? So somebody older, somebody younger, and you are building a fence for the local park or something, makes a big difference for you to be able to prioritize that wisdom sharing.
I've got a good friend of mine who lives down the street, and he has two sons, 16 and 14 years old. And I've got a bunch of stuff in our storage facility that I don't want anymore, and I don't want to do a tag sale. I just don't. I don't want to do that, but I want to get all of my stuff back into circulation for other people. So I asked him, would his sons be willing to work with me to figure out a way to get my stuff back out in there, either doing a tag sale or Facebook Marketplace or eBay or whatever they want to do. And they're so excited. So now they've got a 67-year-old man mentoring them on how to start a business, and the dad's plugging in when he needs to, but I'm having so much fun with these kids, teaching them how to start a business. And my thought is to not just use my stuff, but go around the neighborhood and find other people that need their stuff. So it's given me a whole nother spark of energy to work on for the next couple months. So there's a chance to do things like that. So that's another hack, is really serving others. It is becoming, in our mind, one of the primary purposes of this phase of life is having a percentage of your time doing that. So let's go through real quick how you can start that. So the first thing is you've got to identify some physical activities that you enjoy, and you have to schedule them.
Absolutely. Every day.
Every day.
I mean, as many days as you can fit into your calendar.
If you haven't done anything and you want to start walking every morning at 8 o'clock after you've had your coffee, you walk for 10 minutes and come back and do it every day.
Right. The second thing is to set up a daily mindfulness or meditation practice to really ground yourself, really give yourself that moment of peace where you can add in some journaling, some meditation, and some prioritization.
All right, third thing, reconnect with old friends. I've found some amazing relationships, nurtured some amazing relationships with people that I haven't seen in 30 years. You can find them on Facebook, you can find them wherever, but kids that, all through grammar school, middle school, high school, and even college, that was a phase of my life when those relationships were like this, right? Then you get working and everything else, and you lose touch with them. You go back to them. You've got a bond that goes back 40 years.
Right.
Reconnecting with people like that feels amazing.
So the next one is plan regular activities and good, positive communication strategies with your partner. Your partner, your spouse, your best friend, the person who's in your life more than anybody else, planning those regular activities makes a difference.
The last one is, and I just gave the example of the kids down the street, find opportunities to mentor somebody. Find opportunities to volunteer in your community. It's out there.
Right.
And it'll change your life, I promise you. It'll make a huge difference in the way you live retirement with that hack.
Now listen, embracing these lifestyle hacks can significantly enhance your retirement, making it a period of growth, joy, and fulfillment.
So start integrating these hacks into your life and your daily routine, and watch how your retirement changes for the better. Now, we hope you like this video. This next one, marriage mistakes to avoid in retirement, is really good. This was one of our better videos.
It was.
Yep. Many marriages suffer from spending more time together in retirement. So this has tools in there: communication, personal space, shared goals. I think you'll really like that. So watch this next.